All right, BBN, welcome to the right side of Kentucky sports. It is Monday, February the 23rd, and we are probably just like a lot of you all still recovering from what was a brutal week for Kentucky. The Cats go 0-2 last week with losses to Georgia and Auburn. They go from winning 8 of 9 to now we have dropped 3 in a row. We've dropped way down in the SEC standings, and I don't know that we're on the bubble, but with our remaining 4 games, I think our NCAA tournament status might be in limbo. The roller coaster ride of a season for this team continues. A lot of people are already jumping off the train, as expected with Kentucky fans. I personally am on this train until the end. Now, let me be fair and say that I am holding on literally as tight as I can with my fingers crossed that this thing does not tip off these tracks, roll over, and explode. But if it's a Kentucky train, I'm on it till the end. But I am very disappointed in the losses last week. Guys, how have y'all recovered?
Put me
Saturday was rough, dude. Saturday was so rough after the Auburn game. I forgot what the hell happened in the Georgia game.
Yeah.
I had to ask these guys to refresh me on what the hell happened in the Georgia game because I was the Auburn game very disappointing.
Put me up in the captain's chair at the front of the train. It's the only place I ride.
I know you ain't jumping off the train.
I don't care if we're going off the side of a mountain, baby. I'm going to be in the captain's chair just like a captain on a ship. I'm going to go down with the ship. I'm not saying I agree with everything or don't agree with everything. The one thing I will tell everybody is I support my team no matter what, unconditionally. I don't care if we got a good coach, bad coach, part of what we do. That's why we have an athletic director is if it's time for him to go, he'll make that decision. And if he don't do a good job of that, we'll get rid of him. There's people in place for that. I can't control those things. All I can do is be a great fan. And I think it's important for us as fans to be positive so Kentucky has a good image and don't have this crazy image sometimes that we come across with because our fans are so on the train, off the train. So to me, it's important to be positive because players do look at social media. They do get on the same things that we get on. And it's just important to me. It was 20, 25 years ago on message boards, and it is today, whether you're on TikTok or Twitter or wherever it is. These players, they read social media. These recruits, they read it. They don't want to come play for a bunch of fair weather fans, although almost every program has fair weather fans. It just seems like we have more than our share.
So are your fingertips as white as mine from gripping on and holding on here?
No, I'm at the wheel, baby. I'm at the wheel.
Yeah, well, you better be holding on tight. You better be driving that thing good because I feel it wobbling.
There, I was at the wheel on with Joker Phillips. So if that tells you anything.
Josh.
I done took my seatbelt off. I'm waiting for the next stop.
You just said your fate now.
Yeah.
I ain't even just unstrapped.
I just unstrapped.
At least I'm going to be comfortable.
Exactly.
You plan on getting off, Josh?
No, I don't. I'm going to keep supporting.
Well, put your damn seatbelt back on.
My seatbelt's kind of tight, man.
Captain says all seatbelts on.
They're making me drink a lot, so I'm gaining weight, so I got to keep the seatbelt off.
Hey, we'll have some drinks if we're going to go down with the ship.
We're definitely going to need some drinks if we get any more wobblier than we already are.
We're going to be like the band on the Titanic.
I feel like
until it sinks.
I feel like I keep hearing like screws pop out of the outside of the train. I don't know what's going on, but we are derailing. Look, there's a lot of different reasons why. There's a lot of issues that we've highlighted, and Kentucky fans all know. We've been talking about them all year, from everything from NIL, roster construction, injuries, players not playing that we maybe should be playing, rotations, and just so many issues. We're going to have to figure it out. Look, I've readjusted my expectations multiple times. I think Anthony made a good point the other night that this team's kind of tricked us a little bit. We were all basically, not all, but there was a lot of people that
accepted.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people just wrote the team off before Christmas. I think the rest of us that are fairly reasonable, we took our expectations from Final Four, where we're always at, to let's just salvage the season, which I said. And I feel like y'all agree with that. Yeah. At that point, win some games, get in the tournament, and have a little bit of fun. And then it went from, we won 8 out of 9. We're thinking maybe we're getting better. And then now we dropped 3 in a row. So my expectations have went up and down. I'm still kind of stuck with can we get in the tournament and, hopefully win a game or two.
Yes, yeah.
But do y'all think right now, have you looked at bracketology since last week, since the 2 losses?
I have not.
I'll say this.
I don't know. I think we were a 7.
Yeah.
Going into last week.
I think we are still a 7 right now.
How can we go 0-2 and still be?
It was a road game, though. It was a road game.
It don't matter. It's not a good loss.
It's not a great loss, but
they were on the bubble, or maybe are they even in right now? Auburn?
We were 2.5. We were 2.5 point underdogs. We covered 2 out of those 3 games. I don't think those losses are as bad as they seem. Georgia came back and won another one. They're getting healthy. They're getting good. Georgia's passing the eye test. Florida's super high. Auburn was on the road.
I think Auburn's bad.
Okay.
I don't think Georgia was bad. I don't think Georgia's bad, but I do think Auburn's bad.
I didn't like Auburn at all.
Auburn's lost some games here lately, but they've been a lot of close ones against good teams. So, I mean, it's not like they're just losing to some bad teams. They had a rough little schedule there. That's why I think they were 2.5 point favorites at home.
Kansas came back here. They were down 8 or something at some point, and they're up 4 at halftime now.
But we need to root for St. John's. We need to root for Arkansas, and we need to root for Tennessee.
I'm glad you didn't say Louisville. I was waiting for you to say Louisville. I'm not doing it.
But they can't beat anybody. They're not helping. They just lost to North Carolina. I mean, they can't get a big win. I just seen a stat from shout out Mike Rutherford. Under Pat Kelsey, U of L is 1-11 against quad 1A opponents.
Are you serious?
Yes.
And everybody wants to dog Mark Pope. I'm not happy with the way the Mark Pope thing's going right now, but he had 8 quad 1 wins last year. And you're saying he's 1 and what?
1-11 in quad 1A wins.
Since he's been at Louisville.
Yes.
That's terrible.
Yes, it is.
That's awful.
Y'all said in the last part of the show that he wasn't on the hot seat. And I'm like, man, there's some rumbling. I mean, he's not on the hot seat, just like Pope, but he's getting some heat.
I just haven't heard enough of it, but I don't listen to as much local radio as I used to. But
this was his tweet earlier. But I mean, they were all close games. He did get blown out by Tennessee, lost to Duke, lost to Kentucky last year, lost to Clemson. His only quad 1A win was against Clemson last year in the ACC tournament. He's lost to Duke 3 times. He's lost to SMU. He's lost to Duke 1, 2. Yeah,
and they're trying to keep up with Kentucky on losses this year because we've got 10 and they got 8 now, right?
Now, yep.
So they're trying to keep up.
Let me give you a cool stat for an SEC team I just figured out. Tennessee, over the last 10 games, has only lost to 1 team in the country. Kentucky.
In what?
Tennessee basketball has only lost to 1 team in the last 10 games.
Oh, okay. 8-2.
Yeah.
2 losses against Kentucky.
Yeah.
Huh.
So Tennessee's starting to play good basketball.
So we need to root for those teams.
Yeah, and I tell you, I think the Arkansas win's a really good win.
I think
it was at
too.
Arkansas too. Was it at Arkansas?
Yep.
That's our best win of the year.
Yeah, and St. John's is looking like a really strong win.
Yeah, St. John's is looking much better. When we beat St. John's, I had people telling us, "Oh, St. John's is mid. St. John's ain't even that good this year." Y'all are bragging about beating St. John's. I do think they're coming around. They're playing real good.
And Tennessee's number 22 right now. We got 2 wins against them and 1 on the road. So we got some solid wins.
Yeah.
People try to downplay the Tennessee thing too, even though I don't think Tennessee's that good. But of course, as soon as we beat them, Tennessee's not that good this year.
I think they're good. I just don't think they're really good. I think they're like solid to good. Kind of where we are, maybe. I still think we're there. I know we've had, when you lose 3 in a row, there's always going to be negativity, but I don't think it's as bad as what it seems. So
I think we're good enough. Me and my cousin were talking yesterday. I think, and he brought up a good point, and I agree. We're good enough to play with anybody. I'm not sure we're good enough to beat anybody, and we can obviously lose to anybody. So I think that's just like the nature of this team.
Yeah.
I think if you beat, and this is in conference play, you beat Tennessee twice, you beat Arkansas, you beat St. John's. That Arkansas win, them 2 Tennessee wins. The St. John wins was earlier, but those 2, the 2 Tennessee wins and the Arkansas win, I like those wins.
Mm-hmm.
I like those
too.
wins. I really do.
Yeah, but we got 10 losses.
Yeah.
And 4 tough games left. Well, I say 3 out of 4 tough games. We should, and we'll get into the games coming up this week, but we do have South Carolina coming up tomorrow.
And speaking of 10 losses, Kentucky is on a streak of 4 years with at least 10 losses.
And I think the 5th year we had 8 or 9. So look, that's not the standard of Kentucky. And it's not all on Pope because a couple of those years was Cal, okay? So we're talking a couple years of Cal and a couple years of Pope. Too many losses overall for Kentucky. We definitely got to get it together.
But I honestly think, too, though, in these last 4 or 5 years, the SEC has gotten better.
Well, last year.
If you go back 6, 7, 8 years,
Yeah, you're right. Overall,
we've had an 8.
NIL made it the SEC better in basketball.
Better.
It's been a challenge on the SEC in football trying to compete with some of the northern schools. It ain't been a challenge. They're holding their own, but so are these northern schools now that never could. But I think what it's allowed them to do is to the opposite's true for the SEC is a lot of your players come from the north in basketball. So they're able to buy with the NIL money the SEC has, they're able to actually buy some basketball players. So I do think the SEC's improved a lot with NIL because I'll be honest with you, before NIL, I never thought the SEC was a very top-tier program conference. I always thought they were like 3 or 4, somewhere around there.
I think we've had good coaches for a long time, but now we're starting to get really good players.
Yep.
So Tuesday, we lost to Georgia at home.
86-78.
That was a decent played game. I would not say Kentucky played terrible by any means. I don't know that I would even say they played bad, but I don't want to say they played good either. So I'm kind of it was an average game by us, I feel like. I do think that maybe Georgia played above average, and they shot the lights out. I say that they hit a bunch of threes, but we did too. Team stats, looking at that game after the game on Tuesday, it kind of, to me, came down to, Anthony made a good point. Georgia played really good. They did. They beat us assists. They killed us on assist. I forgot the numbers. It was like 3 times.
It was like 22-9 or something.
No, I think that was
points off turnovers.
That was points off turnovers, which was the other really big stat. But their assists were way better than ours, and they had like double the amount of steals, maybe even triple the amount of steals. They had a bunch of steals and a bunch of points off of those steals, and we actually shot from the field and the 3-point line pretty even with them, but we were 60% from the free throw line. This team, and really any team, you cannot shoot 60% from the free throw line. So free throws and points off turnovers really in that game, I felt like was the difference to that game. And, Georgia did play good.
You weren't going to beat Georgia that. Now, there's teams that could have beat Georgia, but it was going to take a really good performance to beat Georgia that night. Look, Georgia had a really good start to the year. I think they had crept up to top 10 team.
They were averaging 100 points a game in middle of December.
And they got, they had some injuries, but they're getting right now. After us, they came out and kind of controlled the game against Texas, which is a tournament team. So it's Georgia's playing good ball. And when we played Georgia passed the eye test with me. I didn't think we played horrible. Georgia's had a really good game. And with Florida, Florida's maybe the hottest team in the country right now, them or Duke. I mean, there's a couple more, but Florida's really hot. I say Florida's top 5-ish team. So it's now the Auburn game was a little tougher, but Auburn had played some tough games, then just lost some close ones. They were at home, they were desperate, and y'all seen the place. It was crazy. It was. And we freaking got cheated. So, it is what it is. Look, I'm gonna make a comment real quick. As y'all seen, came out after the game that Mark Pope got caught saying, these MRFers better not find me. It's I didn't do nothing to get caught cheating or whatever. Some people might be frustrated with that. Some people might say, quit crying, Mark. I'm just going to be honest with you. I freaking love it. I see growth from Coach. That ain't just me trying to say it for some thing on here. I see growth from Coach. When Coach got here, my biggest gripe, I said it from day one on here, he was too much of a people pleaser, too much of a butt kisser, and a little bit too soft for me. To me, he's went from the pristine dog, the high dollar dog, to he's starting to slowly turn into a little bit of a junkyard dog. So listen, we knew we hired a young coach. We've talked about that. So you can get better as a coach. I think he messed up on constructing his team this year. I don't think he'll make that same mistake again. I don't. But the problem is we got to play out this season, and it's just a long season when you get where there's you're kind of disappointed in the team. But I think he'll bounce back from that standpoint and fix those mistakes. But I love how he's growing as a coach and isn't worried about offending people or kissing people's butt. He needs that, dude. He needs that. And as bad as it was and as bad as we got screwed, the dude was he was coaching his butt off, whether it was good or bad. He was out there. He was working, trying to get the win. I do love to see the growth in him. And I like to see a little bit of the white trash in him too. So I do. I just flat out do. And I made a TikTok about this, and I'll say it on here. Anybody that ain't never been there after a game where you've been emotionally invested and you come up short and, you want to blame the whole world, you want to fight the whole world for at least an hour, or a couple hours. So I don't have no problem with that. I don't.
No, I didn't mind it. I mean, I thought people were trying to blow it out of proportion on whatever it was. It was just a guy in the heat of the moment saying what he felt, whether he's fine or you think it's what I don't even know what to think of it because I didn't even.
Did you think he had that in him when he first came here? I didn't think he had that in him.
No, but I think it's been slowly building up.
Yeah,
because you can see, me and Charlie were talking yesterday, I think, about just like the frustration of Pope, and sometimes I think he's lost right now. Not like that, not in a bad way, but I just think he's frustrated with the injuries, frustrated with the way the team has played, frustrated with probably himself as he's coaching.
Long season.
Yeah.
Long season.
And I think he's just like, dude, if he
hit the reset button.
Right. And,
well, Anthony said it perfect before the show. He's probably in a situation where he would just be like, can we get this shit over with?
Right.
Can I just start over?
I want some shooters. He wants some shooters. Y'all think he wants some shooters?
Yeah, he better get some.
Dude, I'm going to tell you. He will get him, like, we always said with Stoops that last year. He'll go down, like, with his style. He went and got the lineman, whatever, But he will go out, like, he knows this. He knows. Especially with those kind of budgets, he knows. This is it. Dude will have him some shooters. He might have too many shooters next year.
I'll take too many. It's one would be too many on this team.
You hear the JMI stuff, and maybe part of it's true. I think maybe Pope got hustled on that a little bit because I think if you're paying that much more, like if somebody's like gaming you on that, other coaches, in the recruiting world, that's a weak game. Like you can overcome that. Say, yes, you can make a little bit more, do the whole deal there, but I'm paying you so much more. But I think where Pope got lost a little bit this year was I think Pope struggles recruiting freshmen. That's an issue in itself, but you don't got to have freshmen. But, I do think, and I'll go back to this, I said it, I think the dude really maybe lost track with where college basketball players was because, he kept talking about name on the front. And he wanted Kentucky fans to buy into that. He wanted to believe that. But I think almost everybody, even Kentucky fans, I think we're all at the point now where they're finally realizing these players don't care about the name on the front no more.
Unless you're from that state and grew up a diehard fan,
I think you'll sell out anyway.
Maybe.
Yeah.
All right, this is why we need an outline for our show. We jumped way ahead talking about press conferences. We didn't even talk about the Auburn game and what happened in the Auburn game. So let's talk about the Auburn game Saturday.
I got a list of negative stuff we could start.
There's a lot of negative stuff.
Was that the worst game of Chandler's career?
Yes, but I'm not going to dog on Chandler too much because he has already won us kind of I don't want to say single-handedly, but kind of like 4 or 5 games. So I give him a pass, but yes.
Right. I'm not.
It was awful.
Yeah. I don't like his defense.
It was awful. His defense has been bad the last couple of games. He's passing the ball to the other team. He had like 2 huge turnovers in a row.
That was unbelievable. And then he wanted to yell at Marino after the second one. Like he felt like Marino should have fought harder for it. It's like you tried to make like a half-court bounce pass.
And I saw somebody comment on one of my posts saying that they've seen that before. Somebody said Chandler's always trying to blame other people when he makes mistakes. I don't know.
I want to start watching for
it. I have not noticed that until we kind of saw the thing with Marino. I haven't noticed that in the past. I know there's been talk about this team bickering back and forth throughout the year in games, but I haven't seen it from Chandler. But somebody else did say that. So, yeah, I didn't like that. Those were 2 bad passes, right?
Yeah.
Those were not on anybody else.
No.
Maybe Marino should have been somewhere that, maybe we don't know it because we don't know the scheme or the play that they're running, which do they run plays anyway? So, but no, from what I saw, it was 2 terrible passes, careless passes by Chandler in a big, it was 4 or 5 minutes left in the game when he did both of those like back to back. And then I feel like a couple more possessions later, he had another one, didn't shoot well. I don't know what he was from the field, but he did not shoot well. Maybe his worst game. But again, I'll give him a pass.
And then he pushed off at the end.
Yeah, let's talk about that in a second.
Well, yeah.
Real quick.
Plus
Right.
minus. All the stars. I seen this stat today.
Yeah.
Every starter is positive, plus minus. Every bench player is negative, plus minus. Just play our starters.
Yeah. 40 minutes.
40 minutes.
Garrison didn't give us nothing.
That's
Yelovich only plays fucking in the first half again. The first half and the first 2 minutes of the second half, and he gone. We figured it out Saturday night. If you guys weren't in the live, we figured it out. Yelovich smokes cigarettes.
Yeah.
He can only play 12 minutes.
He's Eastern European.
Yeah,
You got to get him on the Zens. You got to get him on the Zen pouches. He can play with one of those.
I told the guys.
True.
I told the guys on the show. I had a friend in college, Croatian, same country, Jelly Trump. He actually sent me a message when he committed here. He said, "Dude's a player. Dude's a player."
Well, text him back and say, "Is dude a smoker?"
Slavi was too. So this guy was a great tennis player at U of L. Like he held records. Like 6'7", tall guy. He was at business school with me. I became good friends with him. And he had a big tennis match coming up at night. We went night classes there. I went there after work, and he was outside. And I knew he had a big match coming up. I was going to say something to him for the match, and the following day, and I went out there, and my dude Slavko, man, he's out there smoking cigarettes. I'm like, dude, you are like one of the best tennis players in U of L's history, and you're out here smoking cigarettes, man. He said, "My country, this is what real men do," or something like that. I was like, I hear you, man. That's the same, not the same country because they split off, the Yugoslavia, but that's Vladi, Pedro Stojakovic.
Yeah, they said Vladi and Tony Kukoc, they smoked cigarettes.
Hell yeah. Hey, my buddy Slavko did tell me. I remember him telling me in college. He said, "You love it in Croatia, man."
Petro, baby. Petro was going to be a fucking Hall of Famer, dude. Petrovic.
They were really one of the first countries to buy into basketball. He said he remembers as a kid, like the Dream Team. He said, "Man, we thought that, they were just gods." He said our country fell in love with basketball, but they're tall. There's a lot of talls. The old Yugoslavia, whether it's Serbians, Bosnians, or Croatians, they were all really tall people. So you see a lot of people from those countries be good at basketball. All the Eastern Europeans are usually pretty tough.
Speaking of tall, Jasper's game is not tall. It is small.
He played 2 minutes in the Auburn game.
And he had a 2 turnovers?
Josh is yelling at him, "Get him out of the game."
I'm yelling at Coach.
And he did. 2 minutes out.
And he didn't play a lick in the second half.
Nope. And Yelovich, back to him real quick. It's just 10 minutes in the first half, 3 in the second. He's done. So that's about what you're getting out of him. Looking at the team stats in the Auburn Kentucky game, this is what I said after the game. I usually I know I watch the game, so I can kind of see what happened, but I like to kind of go through and see the team stats and see maybe a little difference here or difference there. There was not many differences in that game. The stats were basically even all the way across the board, and I took it as 2 bad teams, and one had to lose, and we just happened to lose. Because I was saying basically for the whole second half, Kentucky needs to win this game by double digits. Auburn's not good. They're dribbling off their foot. They're missing easy shots. I kept saying it multiple times. I kept seeing it. This team's not good. Kentucky needs to stretch this thing out, and they never did, and they lost. So just 2 bad teams playing against each other, and maybe not bad. Just to me, Anthony would say good to, what do you call them? Good to,
Kentucky?
Good to,
I think we're solid to good.
Solid to good. I say solid to like below average.
Yeah.
You're putting us on the other side of
kind
solid.
Of, yeah, okay. Just barely, like just the other way.
See, the other way. I put us not too far off good, maybe slightly closer to good than solid.
I'm a little bit below. I'm a little bit below that threshold.
I'll just say solid.
So Josh is right in the middle. Anthony's here. I'm here. Yeah. But we're not far from each other. Look, we're right. We're just an average team, dude. Just call us average.
Average.
Just call us average.
Yeah. I know I say this, but I'm gonna say it again, just to keep things in perspective. That it's not like we're not doing it's not as bad as what it seems. We covered 2 out of those 3 games.
I don't give a shit about covering.
I know, but
I had us, so I do care because I won some money. But I don't care about if we cover.
I'm not saying I care about like it's a moral victory, but like when you cover, you're doing what you're supposed to do. It ain't like we're just playing horrible.
You're supposed to win.
Well, I mean, you're doing what you're doing what
they're doing what they're supposed to do for your bet.
Yes,
yes.
But you know what
they're doing what they're supposed to do.
No, like it's not like
they shouldn't even know the spread.
No, it's not like they way underperform. That's what the point spread was. It ain't like they underperformed.
10 losses is underperforming for Kentucky, I think. But let's talk about the end. What you got, Josh?
Real quick, in the last 2 games, Oweh, 57 points in the last 2 games, 57 points, 4 from 8 from 3, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 0-2 record.
Yeah,
it's not healthy for us.
Need some help.
Yeah. I think anytime for any team, and this ain't just us, when you have a guy that scores like a lot of points, I'm telling you, I see it a lot of times. Even when Acuff had all them points for Arkansas, it seems like teams don't do well when one player scores a lot of points. Maybe they get relying on them too much.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
I will not take the Oweh slander.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
He's all we got.
I will not tolerate any Oweh slander on any Blitz the Bookie post. Fair warning, I'm coming right back at you if you come on any of my posts talking shit about Oweh. He's not a perfect player. He's not going to have a great possession every time he touches the ball. But if it wasn't for Oweh, you think it's a train wreck now? Without Oweh, we would be so bad.
We'd score like 45 points.
If you want to slander Oweh, do it on somebody else's post because I'm coming at you.
It's the only thing that I would even pick on him about, and this is just picking because he's our best player. And he ain't the only one. I think Aberdeen's guilty of this. It's nothing they're doing, but just the ability for them not to shoot from their position. I think it clogs the middle sometimes because everybody knows what we're going to do. Everybody knows what we're going to do. And, props to him for still being able to do it.
Right.
But I do think it clogs the middle. We need better spacing, but you got to have shooters. Being able to shoot the ball allows you to space the ball a lot better because, people have to stay at home. They got to, they can't cheat on the help. For us, you can cheat. It's one of them guys go for the rim.
Definitely packing it in with those two guys.
Yeah.
Before we get to the games this week, speaking of Oweh, is there a better Kentucky guard in the last? I mean, I don't know, maybe John Wall or something, but besides John Wall, who is the best guard that we've had at getting to the rim? Oweh is pretty freaking good. Now, he does miss some layups here and there, but I don't think it's out of control. Who is the best player since Oweh at getting to the rim like he does?
Wayne Turner.
I know we've had some good ones.
Darren Fox.
Wayne Turner.
Dude, he's really good at getting. Oweh is
strong,
up there, dude, at getting to the rim. A lot of times we've had guys that can get there, but they're out of control. I feel like
Wheeler.
Yeah, and Briscoe was kind of like that. He would get there, but he was out of control and didn't finish. Mm-hmm. I feel like we've had some of those guys. I think Oweh does a really good job.
He's up there.
I know he's missed some layups. I know, and I have hated how this team misses layups like we do. But
Derek Jasper,
I feel like at the clip he gets to the rim, he finishes pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, he's good. He's good at getting the rim. I hate that he ain't a better shooter, but I'm being greedy from that standpoint. He has to drive so much to get his points. And I take nothing away from him because we need him. But when you do have to do that, that takes a lot more energy than just passing it and shooting it.
Oh, it does.
And I think that can take away from our defense and him and Aberdeen because Aberdeen's very similar. Aberdeen might be a little better shooter.
Mm-hmm.
But I think by them doing that, it clogs the middle and it takes away from their defense. I think
they're still our two best defenders. I would say on-ball defense, they're the two best ones.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would say Oweh's the better offensive player. I think Aberdeen's a little bit better on ball defense. I think Aberdeen.
I agree with that, but I think Oweh's pretty good on ball too.
He gets in the passing lanes.
I do not find myself yelling because Oweh gets beat all the time. I'm not saying he's perfect defender, but I don't find myself doing like I do with Chandler.
But
pissed off because he got beat to the bucket again.
I think in Pope's offense, you want to see a lot of motion and stuff like that. But I think because there are two best players and they got to use so much energy to attack the basket. Do they not have the energy to do the motion off the ball and really move? I feel like we have no motion off the ball.
Might be. Look, we talk like they're machines. I'm sure they get tired, dude. I think Oweh, Aberdeen, I think those guys are in great shape and I think they can play 40 minutes, but they do get tired. I'm sure they get gassed.
No doubt.
It is going to take away from either going to take away from their defense or it's going to take away from movement without the ball.
Movement without the ball is big.
It just is. And we don't move without the ball anyway.
No.
Yeah, and I do think for Mark Pope's offense to be good, I think he needs movement without the ball.
You see what happens with our offense when we don't move.
It comes in spurts. Like there'd be like 3 possessions in a row where like whoever has the ball is just standing. He's dribbling at the top of the key, and everybody else is just standing around.
Oh,
it came in spurts, and we talked about on Saturday while watching together. Like no one's moving. And everybody's just out there pounding the ball at the top of the key.
Thing about it is there a lot of, you can get some cuts of basket, but everybody knows that. So they're packing it in. And even if they get one over to the side that's open, they can't hit it.
Right.
Dude, not being able to shoot in today's game is a problem. Like it just is. Not being able to stretch the floor in basketball is a problem.
I know. We always, when we talk about our injuries, we always talk about, of course, Quainton's not playing, which I think is big, and we talk about Lowe. Dude, I think, what's his name?
Cam Williams.
Yeah, I think that was a bigger loss.
Yeah, he was starting
than
to come on.
anybody realized.
It might have been
sorry, Cam
It might
Williams.
have been.
I don't know why I just forgot your name,
Yeah.
but yeah, the loss of Cam Williams, I think, is bigger than any Kentucky fan is really like giving it credit for, because he is what we need. Chandler is our best shooter, and he was 1 for a million in the other night. And when he has games like that, we don't have a second shooter.
I agree.
We do, but he smokes cigarettes, and he can only play in the first half.
We need him at crunch time, and
I'm just saying, who's our other shooter?
I agree with that.
Do we have another shooter other than Chandler?
Mount Mamba, but he can't play.
Yeah, well,
and
he
Jasper,
can't
but
play.
they can't play either.
Yeah, he can't play. So
I'll say this. When they put this team together, of course, you had Lowe as your point guard, and you didn't expect that. Cam Williams. I've been very disappointed with Cam Williams, but I would love to have him now. I'm with you.
I thought he was coming alive. The last
That's
maybe
what I
2-3
too.
games. I feel like he was getting in his groove, getting a little more play. Didn't he get a start there?
I think so.
I think he got a start. He was earning
I
more
always thought
playing
he was-
time.
I
He had
always-
that one where he hit like 7 threes.
Mhm.
I feel like he was finding himself, dude.
I always thought he was a little lazy. Didn't want to do much on defense, but whatever. I'd love to. I'm with you. I think your statement is very true. I think he's a guy that could stretch the floor for us, and it'd be a good opportunity for him right now. But
We could use him. I did not dissect his defensive game, so I can't even disagree with you. I just didn't watch him enough on defense. But with the shooters, what we need a shooter. I just really think that was a big loss. That I think kind of brushing it off. Everybody thinks about the point guard. Everybody thinks about Quainton, is pissed off about Quainton not playing. Man, we need Cam Williams right now, dude. If there's any chance, I know you said last week that there might be some type of chance.
Maybe for the
Please,
SEC tournament, maybe.
Please.
We'll
just
see.
stand in the corner. We'll throw it over. You just shoot
it might help
dude.
spacing. I tell you this: I really think as you go back and look, and you think, well, Mark, what were you thinking? I think anybody that's smart knows he don't like. Maybe he likes the guys, but he just knows this ain't a good team. Would love to hit the reset button. But then you think, well, what was he counting on from the guard position? Because he spent this money and da-da-da. I do think that he was expecting something from Mount Mamba, and I think he was expecting something from Jasper. And, Jasper's not developing underneath. People had me convinced that Mount Mamba was going to have this big year. And when I watch him, he don't even need to be on the court.
Right.
So add that to the list because I don't even think people mention that as issues with this team. We're dealing with injuries, and we got 2 guys that are not giving us anything.
Right.
That you're right. Pope probably thought, I don't know how.
They're both.
Did they really? I didn't hear Noah getting pumped up like you're saying.
Not pumped up, but like he was going to be a producer on the team.
I
Yeah.
thought
Or I think he would have left. I think he would have left with Perry.
So we're getting really nothing out of Jasper or Noah.
And
So
Jasper,
add that to all the other issues, dude, and it's
That's
just
5.
another.
That's 5 players.
Our list of problems for this team is this freaking long.
if I was Pope, I would say this. Now, everybody sees what Jasper does. He comes in, he tries to shoot the ball. I got to think that Pope is telling him, hey, I need you to stretch the floor, okay? Because if not. But if I was Pope, I would go to Jasper, and I would tell him this. I talked to Josh about this beforehand. Look, we don't have a point guard. If you want more playing time, if not, you're going to keep getting what's happening. But if you want more playing time, I need you to drive to the basket and create. I need you to be a point guard. If you do that, I'll give you more playing time. I would have to think that if I was him and I wanted more playing time, I would do that. But he's like shooting. So it almost makes me think that Pope is almost promoting him to shoot to try to stretch the defense.
Well, we ain't got no other shooters. He might be looking at it like, dude, I need you to run point and shoot.
Yeah,
because we don't have no shooters.
And I do think Jasper is a good shooter. I've seen his high school stuff. He's known as a good shooter. He's got a smooth stroke, a very soft touch. But I do think sometimes he's shooting with the fear that he's going to come out.
Fear? Motherfucker don't shoot with no fear, son.
Yeah, but you're right.
He thinks he's fucking Steph Curry.
But he can do that, but I think he's forcing it. I think he's forcing it.
He is forcing it.
Yeah. A weird statement here, but can a guy be too fast, but then the game still be too fast for him? You know what I'm saying? Like, if that makes sense, because he's 100 miles an hour, going nowhere.
I think he knows he's good. And I do think he's good, but I think he wants to be good so bad that it's like he's trying too hard. And he only gets a few minutes. So I mean,
he wants to be good. I think he also thinks he's really good.
He is really good.
Kid has no problem with in the confidence department. Zero. Please give some of that to Marino.
Yeah.
He needs some of it.
He's got a good looking shot. I'm not saying he's been dead eye ringer. His percentage is not bad for the year. It's pretty good actually, but when you look at his stroke, it's a good stroke.
I like his shot. And I don't mind him.
There's a lot of people that are basketball people that are around the program that says he has a really soft touch too. His ball has a naturally soft touch. You know, it bounces in and gets a lot of bounces with the soft touch.
He's always trying to shake somebody at the 3-point line and do the step back.
Yes, he is. Yes, go to the basket.
He wants 2-3 crossover, step back, shoot. Dude, that's his fucking move.
Great at ING Academy.
You're right. In high school, you can do that all fucking day, dude. It's just not going to fly.
What about that movie made to the basket, wrapped around past the Garrison? Garrison didn't finish it. But, dude, it was a thing of beauty.
It was.
He's had a few of those, too.
But I'm just saying, like, we don't have nobody else that can do that.
We really don't.
We're going to talk about the ending of the game? Chandler foul?
Yeah, I mean, look, if y'all seen it, it was a push-off. It's a foul. That's a foul by Chandler. But the problem is it should have never been called because he was getting held before that. There should have been a call of holding, especially in a game there was 14 seconds left. They were down 1, right?
Right.
A lot of times in that situation, I'm not saying that this was what's happening because I think it was a totally different situation, but sometimes in that situation, you might foul just before any time comes off the clock. I mean, it happens.
And you get the guy you want. I don't know why that don't happen more often.
So the refs should be looking for, I feel like, a pre-play foul, like something that's going to, yes. And he was holding him, and Chandler did push off. He got baited. He pushed off. If the hold doesn't happen, to me, I don't even think it's a debate. I think 100% of the time that's a push off. They might not call it 100% of the time, but he pushed it. I think the dude flopped.
Yes, he did.
So I'm not going to say he flopped, but there was no doubt that he extended the arms.
They work on that, dude. They literally work on it. My big gripe is this. In basketball, if you flop and you get away with it, you can't replay it. But if you flop and get away with it, you get it. But if you flop and you get caught, technical foul.
I love it.
I mean, seriously, I think it's fair.
That they were supposed to do that.
I think it's fair.
That rule in the NBA or something a few years ago, but I've never seen it used.
Do it.
Well, you don't get all the foul bait. I mean, literally, and if you get caught on 2, you're ejected from the game.
My main issue with the whole thing, look, Kentucky didn't lose because of that call, even though that call directly affected the outcome. Okay? It directly affected the outcome of that game. Period. End of story.
High percentage.
But we didn't lose the game because of that, because there was other chances for us to win. And like I said, I think we should have won by double digits. We should have never been in that position. But I will say this, after watching the video multiple times, because after the game, we jumped on live. I didn't watch it. So I was on live saying, that's a push off. And everybody's telling me I'm crazy. And I was the one saying, I think it's a push off. I watched it. I've watched it at least 20 times. My main issue is the referee that called it was on the other side of the court. And not only that, there was not a view. Did you see my video today?
Yep.
Did you see it?
Yep.
I drew a straight line from where he was standing straight to Chandler, and there's 2 other guys standing in the middle of him. He could not even have seen the play. He reacted to Chandler, to the other guy falling. He reacted. And not only that, so referees stop trying to steal the show. stop making a call with like you're assuming the call. You got to see the call. And the other issue was the referee that handed it to the guy to inbound was 10 feet away with nobody in front of him.
Yep.
He's looking right at the play. There's a problem with a referee calling a foul from the other side of the court in the first place. And there's definitely a problem when we see still video of two guys standing in his view. He didn't even see it. Couldn't see it. So whatever, like I'm not crying because of the refs, even though I am. Kentucky should have won the game. Okay, we shouldn't have been in that spot. But there's an issue when we can clearly see a referee just made a call without seeing the fucking call. What do y'all think about that?
Oh, and Mark Pope said it best.
Shit's ridiculous, dude.
Mark Pope said it best. He says, it was personal. So there must have been some other stuff going on. Look, I know you said that you didn't think there was a lot of bad calls. I do think Auburn was getting the benefit of the calls that night. I really do. And Mark Pope said, that official made it personal all night.
Yeah, I didn't notice it throughout the night, but I've seen. You're not the only one I've seen. I've heard a lot of people say the same thing.
I thought they let them play pretty physical all night. Then you call something like that at the end. That's the thing that irked me.
You made a great point the night as soon as it happened, and I think you're 100% right, Josh. You want to tell them?
Yeah, I'll tell them.
Go ahead.
I guarantee
it.
After that timeout or coming out to the floor, one of the coaches told the referees, "Watch the push off."
Guarantee it.
Guarantee
he might have even said, "Watch number 5."
Right. With the push off.
Is 5?
Yeah, he's 5.
Yeah, he might have been like, "Hey, keep an eye on 5. 5 likes to push off."
I guarantee those coaches, it's part of the gamesmanship. It's part of what they do. They notice stuff in the games, and they bring it up towards the end of the game.
Well, they
mention it to the ref. Yeah,
they
practice it. And look, I will, as much as Pearl gets on my damn nerves, I think he's a goofball. Little Pearl, not Big Pearl. I got to give the guy credit. That's a veteran move that I definitely think happened. We don't know for sure, but I think that happened. And I think it's a veteran move, dude. It really is. I mean, you can't hate on him.
Yep.
The refs need to be better. Auburn and the game plan, go for it, dude. If it works, it works. And it worked.
You can't be mind tricked by the coach.
I don't like it. I don't like the flopping. I do think there needs to be something done just for.
I agree with the flopping.
Not for college basketball, not for the NBA, but just for the brand of basketball in general. A lot of that started over in Europe, and we always want to take their rules, even though we invented basketball. And then it was brought over here by Coach K. But now these players are getting really good at this foul bait and stuff. Our very own Shea, they say he's the best at it. But that's fine if you do it and get away with it. But if you get caught, you are trying to deceive somebody. If you're trying to deceive me, then you're cheating. There should be a technical. 2 of them, you're kicked out of the game. If you get away with it, fine. You can't go replay it. You got to call it like you see it.
Call it a balk.
Yep.
It's a balk.
Yep.
Deception. All right. So, look, just to end that, that call did directly affect the game.
Absolutely, it did.
I'm not blaming it on the refs. We should have won the game.
I'll blame it on them. You blaming it on them, Josh, or no? You're not blaming on them?
No, I'm not blaming them. We had other opportunities. Oway could have hit the free throw. We could have been up to it.
We could have had somebody missed a rebound right there at the
end.
Garrison.
You can always say that in every game. They're cheaters. I love it, dude. But, hey, when Mark said that, I said, Bub, welcome to my side of the tracks, big dog. Thought you were too square to come over here.
All right, so now that puts Kentucky in,
9th place in the SEC.
Basically a must-win situations, especially in this next game. South Carolina, are they last? Are they close to last?
Yeah, they're last.
If they're not last, they're down there at the bottom. It's on the road, but we have to win this game. Matter of fact, if we lose this one, I think we'll squarely be on the bubble. Maybe, I don't even know. We might be outside looking in if we lose to South Carolina. That's how bad of a loss that would be. And then Saturday, who we got? Texas?
Vandy. A&M's next week.
Vandy. Next week, we finish off with A&M and Florida. So it doesn't get any easier after South Carolina. I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's a must win. I think we even said that last week about a couple of the games we just lost. This is a must win. South Carolina's terrible. They're worse than Auburn. They're worse than Georgia. They're worse than are they at the bottom?
I'm looking.
I'm pretty sure we're going to go 3-0 our next game. I think we beat South Carolina. I think we beat Vandy at home. And I think we beat A&M. I think Florida will be tough, but I will like the rematch.
If that happens, Anthony, I'd be happy. I would be. Matter of fact, I'd be ecstatic if we went 3-1.
I will say that we'll
We're
be
tied for second to last.
Are we home or away on South Carolina?
It's
We're
at
away.
South Carolina.
Okay, I still think we'll be at least an 8-9 point favorite. I think against Vanderbilt at home, it'll be a close point spread. And then against A&M, are we home or away in that game? Do y'all know?
We're at A&M.
We're at A&M. That'll be a close point spread.
Well, they're must wins. Who we picking, guys? I mean, I'm picking us to beat South Carolina. Anthony said an 8-point spread.
What do you think it'll be?
Probably,
what are you thinking?
I don't know, but we'll probably squeak it out, win by like 3.
Yeah,
So,
we got to be.
I don't care what the point spread is. We just need to win, and it probably won't be pretty because they never are. So just give me the Cats. I'm not even giving a score. I give a score on the pregame on TikTok. Catch us on the pregame. I'm not giving a score. Cats win a close one.
Yep, I think it's going to be closer than we want. I just looked it up. Kentucky, they actually have the spread out already for Kentucky, South Carolina. Kentucky's 6.5 point favorite.
Okay, I say Kentucky rolls.
Okay, I'd say by 5. I think Kentucky by 5.
Aberdeen's he was sick. Also, keep in mind, he was sick. They said it was a legit sickness. He didn't practice in 2 days. He was really battling something. So we don't have many players, guys. So it's
we can't afford nobody getting mono or shit, dude.
Yeah. Need to keep the virus sprays around and everything.
Bro, and the sickness has been going around. Well, I feel like everybody in Louisville's been sick in the past couple of weeks. So yeah, keep that out of Wildcat Lodge because we
that's the
can't afford it.
Is it the Wildcat Lodge or the Coal Lodge now? Which one is it? Or do they even live there anymore?
It's called the Wild. Well, so we saw a sign outside of it that said Wildcat Coal Lodge.
The Wildcat Coal Lodge. That's who the coal miners paid for it. We are.
Is that why they throw coal in there?
No.
Why is it? I was wondering why the sign said that.
Yeah, it's who paid for it. It's who paid. Like if I read that right years ago, it's like all these coal mining companies came together and built the coal.
You ever seen that building? You ever seen it?
Yeah.
It's not a very big building.
It's
really.
not.
No, it's not.
It's really not.
You know, it was.
I expected some like big. I don't know what I expected. Maybe connected to the craft center and just part of it sits off to the side. Just a little apartment building. It looks like.
When UK first had that back in the day, it was the Wildcat Lodge.
Yeah,
and it was kind of one of its kind where the basketball players had their own place.
I think that's where they live.
Yeah, it is. But in all the other basketball teams across the country at the time, they just lived in the regular dorms, but the Wildcat Lodge was this first of its kind of like this private facility. I think there's several of them now across the country.
I feel like they should all have that.
Right.
Yeah. Keep your team, live together. And I feel like they should all have that.
Yeah, there's only 10 to 15 of them. Why not?
So Cats will win against South Carolina. And then Saturday we get a rematch against Vandy. How much they beat us by last time? About 100?
Yeah, it was a lot.
That was on that court, though. Don't count.
Back at home, do we get revenge? What do you think?
Yes.
I'm going reverse jinx. Vandy.
Vandy wins.
Shit out of here with that shit, Josh.
Reverse jinx. It's reverse jinx.
I'm look, I predicted us coming back and beating Florida in the last game. I'm a little more worried about this Vandy game, but I'm not going to pick us to lose. Yeah, screw it. I am. I'm going reverse jinx too. We're not very good. Vandy. We're going to squeak one out against South Carolina, and then they'll come home and figure out some stupid, crazy way to lose the game.
What time's that game at?
Vandy at 2 o'clock.
Saturday?
Yep.
I like to go at game. I'll take the Cats.
You seen the ticket prices?
No. They should be going down, shouldn't they?
Nope.
Really?
Nope. I already looked. They're $150 without fees.
Oh, yeah.
And then Florida's like 180 to 200 without fees.
Well, hopefully.
Call Denny. You selling them.
I already did.
You did?
Yep. I said, hey, you want to sell them Florida tickets? He said,
oh, no, I'm going.
Yeah, he said, nah.
I thought y'all said about Vandy.
Yeah, he said, nah, I'm going. And I said, ha, ha, ha. The motherfucker, you said you ain't going to no more games. You said your whole fucking season tickets were on sale.
Now, Denny might give up those Vandy tickets.
No, Denny rides up front in the engine, son. He just talks shit.
You are 100% right.
The whole time we're up there in the engine seat, son, he's talking shit. But every time we go to freaking go off the edge, son, he's ride or die, man.
Yeah,
he's ride or die.
He is.
Yeah, I didn't ask him about Vandy game. He might have tickets to the Vandy. I don't know if he's using them, but he said he's going. You're going to Florida with him?
Yeah.
All right, well, guys, we need a better week than we had last week. We've only got 4 games left. March is creeping up. Matter of fact, what's today? The 23rd?
Yep.
Next episode, it will be March.
March Madness, fight in February, baby.
March Madness is coming. SEC tournament will be here before you know it. We need to improve our seed a little bit, and we just need to play better and salvage this season. Please, guys, please figure out a way. I mean, we've got 10 losses, so what? We split. We'd end up with 12. Still too many.
Yep.
We needed 3-1. I like that 3-1, Anthony. 19-11 sounds much better than 18-12. Or dude, we cannot finish 16-14. I know that.
Gosh.
Do not finish 16-14 because then the train has probably fell off the track.
Yeah, we can't be playing Wednesday at the SEC tournament. We got to do better.
Wednesday. There's only 2 games on Wednesday, isn't there?
Yeah.
Cannot play on Wednesday. They dog cow for years about the SEC tournament, and Pope makes us play on Wednesday. Oh my God.
If we're playing on Wednesday, I'm going to petition to go back to Atlanta.
I know. Yeah.
Sheesh. All right. Well, hopefully we're back here in a little bit better mood. Look, we try to keep it positive, but it's tough right now, guys. It's tough. We know it. We're right there with you guys, but we're trying to hang on. So stay on board. I know you're worried. We are too. Stay on board. Be a true Kentucky fan. Back the team. Back Pope, whether you like him or not. And hopefully we can rack up a couple wins here in these last 4 and take some momentum into the SEC tournament. Guys, y'all got anything else?
Go Cats.
Guys, win or lose, there's always a spot up front in the engine. You know, even if we go riding off the edge, baby, it's better to go down up front.
Go ride with him and Denny. I disagree. Denny's not up in the front. He is hanging on the outside of the train, just waiting to jump off anytime that we suck. So I disagree with that. All right, guys. Appreciate everybody listening. As always, go Big Blue. Cheer the Cats on.
Let's go.
Keep checking. Maybe you got to stop doing that. We got to look at our record when you do that.
Okay.
I feel like maybe we might need to nix that out of here. So maybe before I put the episode out,
I'm not against it. Let's check it.
Check the record when he does that.
I love it. I love
it. Make a different sound.
yeah. Guys, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Check them all out. Oh, Instagram. We got some posts up on Instagram. Got like 25 followers. Go be the 26th. Hey, we love y'all. Catch you next week. Blitz the bookie. Peace.
See y'all.
I really thought Mountain Bobber was going to have a good year, dude. I really did. They had me talked up on him.
I know. We got suckered in, didn't we?
Boy, he got paid more money than he'd ever make in his life. I hope he made some too. Fuck it. We spent it on everybody else.
First team all coal mine is where he'd be at. Kentucky.
First team coal mine. I might use that one.
Shade acquaintance. We need to get Chris to make like a mashup picture of like mash them together or like fade them.
It would look like Chris.
It kind of would.
Charlie got the mic, he's dropping facts all day. Anthony's like, nah, I got the better parlay. Argue about the spread, it's a fierce debate. But when it comes to Wildcats, they align their fate. Blitz the bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. Late nights, hustle deals on the line. Charlie Scassy's gonna make you shine. Anthony's heart where the numbers combine. Put your cash down, ride the incline. Blitz the bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. From the tip off to the final play, they grind. Mike's on fire, bets on their minds. Arguing odds till the last rewind. Blue and white, it's a bond you'll find. The bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drums. the final play, they grind. Mics on fire, bets on their minds. Arguing us till the last rewind. Blue and white, it's a bond you'll find. Bond you'll find. Blitz the bookies where the knowledge reigns. Charlie and Anthony bring the heat like flames. Talking parlays, breaking down the games. Kentucky Wildcats, they beat the same drum.